Do you think the siddhas as described in the Yoga Sutras are gatekeepers to liberation? Do you think the siddhas as described in the Yoga Sutras are the gatekeepers to liberation? No. I think the gatekeepers of liberation are described on page 126 of Kriya Yoga Vichara, chapter 7, called the Four Gatekeepers of Liberation. And this chapter was inspired by a section in Vasishtha's Yoga. And the quote from it is, "There are four gatekeepers at the entrance to the realm of freedom. They are self-control, spirit of inquiry, contentment, and good company. The wise seeker should diligently cultivate the friendship of these, or at least one of them." And in Vasishtha's Yoga, it goes on in this text. It's a full chapter where I discuss each one of these, but this final line, "The wise seeker should diligently cultivate the friendship of these, or at least one of them." And it goes on to say, if you cultivate one of these, the rest of them tend to show up. If you cultivate good company, most of the time good company is content. Most of the time good company has self-control and is interested, spirit of inquiry. When you develop self-control, you tend to experience contentment. You tend to be able to practice inquiry. And then you tend to attract people around you who are also good company. So what I consider to be the gatekeepers of liberation are self-control, which is explained on page 128 of Kriya Yoga Vichara. Inquiry, explained on page 132. Contentment, explained on page 137. And good company, explained on page 144. And these are not specific to Vasishtha's Yoga. As I mentioned yesterday, these things pop up in just about every important spiritual text. So learning to cultivate these things, this is what allows you to experience liberation. And the one that I would probably focus on most of the time would probably be contentment. Because when you are content, desire is absent. And when desire is absent, you are able to appreciate what you truly are, and you're not defining yourself through things. You're not saying, oh, this loved one is my entire life. And so when this loved one has trouble or dies, then I'm lost. Or my money is everything. Or, my strong body is everything, because all those are going to fade away eventually. And money is a big one. You want to have enough money to live well, to eat good food, and to have time to meditate. Because I've seen plenty of people who have a lot of money, and they've been on the spiritual path a long time, and they're no different than anybody else. I mean, they're no more happy or content or clear. They might have certain problems that aren't as persistent, but when it comes down to the spiritual realization, that doesn't seem to make much of a difference.